Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Welcome to the KZGN News.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Our lead story today finds that Ridgecrest State Senator Jean Fuller has been very active in Sacramento. It was announced yesterday that she was elected as the next state GOP leader, or otherwise known as the Senate Minority Leader. She will take over as the GOP leader on November 1st of this year. Congressman McCarthy made the following statement. I want to congratulate my good friend Jean Fuller on being chosen by her colleagues as the next California Senate Republican leader. Jean is a natural choice for this position. She has an exceptional grasp of the public policy issues that face our communities here in the Central Valley, the Indian Wells Valley, and the Antelope Valley. She's ensuring our communities get needed water, producing more local energy, supporting our local military veterans, and improving our schools. Assemblywoman Shannon Grove released the following statement regarding Senator Jean Fuller being unanimously named California Senate Minority Leader. Senator Jean Fuller is quite a powerhouse with the skill to articulate our conservative principles on water, education, and economics, said Assemblywoman Shannon Grove. She is smart as a whip, a great team builder, and focused on increasing the number of Republicans in the Senate. I'm very supportive of her and excited for her appointment. When contacted for her comments about her appointment to this office, she had the following to say. I plan on doing a lot of things concerning policy and getting good candidates to run for offices in California. Additionally, I will do whatever is necessary to support and keep our military bases here in Kern, San Bernardino counties, and here in California. They are important to our counties, the state, and our nation. Jean Fuller was first elected to the 32nd Assembly District in 2006 as our Assembly member in Sacramento. In 2010, she was elected as state senator representing us in the 16th District. She was born and raised in Bakersfield. In local volunteer news, PAC member and CERT coordinator Robert Obergfeld has made the following announcement. The CERT team will be conducting a community cleanup at the northeast corner of Bowman and China Lake on Saturday, February 28th. We recognize this as one of the first locations visitors see when they arrive in our city, and is proliferated with waste from businesses located nearby. The cleanup will be Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. All volunteers will assemble in the Sierra Lanes parking lot first, then everyone will then head out for the cleanup. It should be noted that the CERT stands for Citizens Emergency Response Team and is sponsored by the Kern County Fire Department. They are directed by Robert Oberfeld, a member of the Ridgecrest PACT organization. CERT's primary purpose is to support the fire and police departments in the event of a local emergency. They support emergencies that are weather-related or things like earthquakes. The group also supports the Ridgecrest Police Department for traffic control, DUI checkpoints, parade traffic control, and emergency call-outs. CERT and PACT work very closely together. Again, the volunteers will first meet in the Sierra Lanes parking lot on South China Lake Boulevard at 9 a.m. If you'd like to come out and lend a hand, they will gladly accept your help. Anyone can come out and help. In news from the Navy at China Lake, Peggy Schoaf, Public Affairs Officer at the Naval Air Weapons Station at China Lake, has just provided the following announcement. Sponsors of the Indian Wells Valley Council of the Navy League recently announced the Blue Jacket of the Year candidates. Nominees are ABE Michael Vertrees, Sergeant Michael McGoldrick, LS1 Michael Shenick, HM3 Rapido Bricio, AM2 Angelo Graham, AWS2 Douglas Bartone, AME2 Mark Eldridge, and ABH2 Kimberly Williams. Indian Wells Valley Navy League representatives and sponsors are Ian Anderson from the IWV Navy League President, Dan Thomas, IWV Navy League Blue Jacket Chairman, Sean Piercy from PAE, Steve Varga, IWV Navy League Treasurer, Denise Wise, IWV Navy League, Darren Nielsen from Agility, Mark Storch from DCS, John Paul from NDTI, Ray Hoffman from Raytheon, Kim Thatcher from Lockheed Martin, Jacobs Technology Incorporated, and Shel Simonovich, who has personally sponsored a Marine for many years. The award dinner will be held Saturday, March 21st at Kerr McGee Center, 100 West California, right here in Ridgecrest. For ticket information or more information, contact Dan Thomas at dthomas7591@gmail.com or 760-382-2560, or Sean Piercy at iwvnavyleague@yahoo.com or 760-499-4283. This award is very important to these fine sailors and soldiers. Just to be nominated for the award is significant. It sets them apart as leaders in their service to the country. While only one will eventually be picked for Blue Jacket of the Year, they are all winners. All of us at KZGN-TV salute their service to the nation. We'll be back with more news after this break. In Sierra Sands School District news, at last week's school board meeting, Steve Hubbard, project manager at Moz Company, presented an update on construction projects. The projects involve Burroughs High School and Murray Middle School. Architects have been established for the high school project. There are concerns about the budget for the project, but he feels there is enough to proceed. The project to build a whole new Murray school is still within budget and on schedule. The location of this new school campus will be next to Burroughs High School and accessible from the city without attendees having to gain access to the China Lake Navy base. Construction documents will be submitted to the state for their approval. Their approval is expected in March. Construction would begin soon after the state approvals. In national news, true to his threat, President Obama has vetoed the pipeline project. In an apparent support to his environmentalist supporters, he has blocked building the Keystone Pipeline and the thousands of jobs that would create. His basis for the veto is concern of the effects to the environment and potential breakages. The President had this to say: "Because this act of Congress conflicts with established executive branch procedures and cuts short thorough consideration of issues that could bear on our national interest, including our security, safety, and environment, it has earned my veto." It should be noted that the applications were submitted back during President Bush's term, and it is still in executive review. After 8 years, it's still in presidential review. Most proponents see this as nothing more than delay tactics from the Obama administration. While they could still approve the project, it does not seem there is any desire to get the decision made anytime soon. Perhaps President Obama will just hand it off to the next president. Opponents have expressed concern for the environment. But when questioned about the success of the current pipeline that is there now, and the Alaska pipeline, there was no comment. It should be noted that there already is a pipeline there. This new project just increases capacity and extends it further into Texas. A large section of the pipeline already exists and is doing fine. The 1,179-mile pipeline would connect the oil fields of Alberta, Canada, to the U.S. refineries in Texas. It would allow TransCanada to pump 830,000 barrels of crude per day to U.S. refineries. This creates continuous jobs for U.S. refineries. So it's not just about construction jobs, which are very important. It's also about continuous employment of good-paying jobs. While the Congress passed the bill with large margins, there may not be enough votes to override the president's veto. Senator McConnell will schedule a vote on the override by March 3rd. In other California news, the AP is reporting that California's first in the nation statewide ban on plastic shopping bags was put on hold Tuesday when state election officials confirmed a trade group had turned in enough signatures to place the issue before voters in 2016. The American Progressive Bag Alliance, which represents bag manufacturers, have about 500,000 more valid signatures than the 505,000 needed to qualify the referendum after a random sample of the signatures was tallied. Said Bill Mabee, Chief Deputy for Secretary of State Alex Padilla. The group had submitted more than 800,000 signatures at the end of last year. Governor Jerry Brown signed the bag ban last year after one of the fiercest legislative battles of 2014 in Sacramento, pitting bag makers against environmentalists. It was scheduled to be phased in starting in July at large grocery stores and supermarkets as a way to cut down on litter and protect marine life. The initiative's executive director, Lee Califf, said in a news release, Californians will now have a chance to vote down a terrible law if implemented. Would kill 2,000 local manufacturing jobs and funnel obscene profits to big grocers without any money going to a public purpose or environmental initiative. Please stay with us. When we come back, we'll have our Pet of the Week, weather, and sports with Tom Heck. Welcome back, and now our weekly Pet with Jolene Sen. I might add that every animal that she has focused here on KZGN has been adopted. Very good record.
Hi everyone, I'm Jolene Sen and I'm with Mary and Jet Black at Ridgecrest Animal Shelter. So Mary, can you tell me a little bit about Jet Black and how old he is?
Yeah, Jet Black is a domestic shorthair, obviously Jet Black. He's about 6 months old. He's a little male. He's been with the shelter since January. Very anxious to get into a home so that he can play and be very affectionate. He likes his belly scratched. He loves attention, and he's just waiting for a good home.
Is he good with children as well as other animals?
He's very good with children. We've had kids that have been hanging on to him and holding him and playing with him. He's very active, obviously for a 6-month-old. He's good around dogs, and he's litter box trained.
All right, so if somebody is interested in adopting wonderful, spunky Jet Black over here, is there a number they can call or?
Absolutely. The shelter phone number is 760-499-5190. The shelter is open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 4.
All right, somebody come adopt Jet Black. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jolene. And now here's Keith with today's weather.
Good evening. Looking at our national map, the northeast coast is still below 20 degrees, and the cold reaches northwest as far as Montana. The Ohio Valley is at 35 degrees. Moving west, the Texas Panhandle area is at 65 degrees. And for us on the west coast, we have mild weather ranging in the 50s to 70s. And for us on the west coast, we have mild weather ranging in the 50s to 70s. But all that changes later this weekend. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 40. Calm wind becoming west-southwest around 5 miles per hour. Thursday will be sunny with a high near 70. Southwest wind 5 miles per hour becoming calm. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 44. West-northwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Friday, a 10% chance of rain after 4 p.m., but will mostly be sunny for the day with a high near 69. Calm wind becoming south-southwest 5 miles per hour as the storm moves in. Friday night, 30% chance of rain, mainly after 10 p.m. Mostly cloudy, low around 45, west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Those chances of showers will continue through Saturday and Sunday, with Saturday a 30% chance of shower, partly sunny at times, with a high near 59, southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, 30% chance continues with mostly cloudy, low around 42, west-northwest wind at 10 miles per hour. So keep that in mind when planning your weekend. I'm Keith, and now back to Tom Whitnick.
And now here's Captain Kinetic Tom Heck with your sports report.
And a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to everybody. Let's start with some local sports news. Junior high basketball yesterday at Saracoso in the 7th grade division. It was Murray with a win over Jacobson 21-6. And with the boys in the 7th grade level, it was Jacobson defeating Murray 25-16. In the 7th grade girls, it was, the 8th grade girls, it was a winning time for Murray as they defeated Jacobson. And for the boys in the 8th grade level, it was Murray defeating Jacobson. So let's start over with all this. All right, we're going to start again. Joey, my apologies. 3, 2, and 1. And a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to everybody. Let's start with junior high basketball. Yesterday up at Saracoso College, the 7th grade girls game went to Murray by a score of 21-16. They played very, very well. They will have one game left. That'll be Saturday. That'll be the traditional Murray-Monroe games. Also in the 7th grade boys division, it was Jacobson the winner, 25-16. In the 8th grade boys, Murray had a big win over Jacobson. And with the 7th grade, it was another win also for Murray. So the Murray Mustangs playing very, very good basketball this season. They will play all the schools and levels from Monroe on Saturday. The action starts at 11 o'clock up at Saracoso College. The snack bar will be open, and all proceeds go to the schools, Murray and Monroe. The first game's at 11 o'clock. It'll be 7th grade girls. At 12 o'clock, it'll be 7th grade boys. At 1 o'clock, it'll be 8th grade girls. And at 2 o'clock, 8th grade boys. Now, it'll be a very busy day at Saracoso. The baseball team will host College of the Desert at 12 o'clock. So things will be active up at Saracoso sports-wise. Okay, Monroe will play their last games this coming Thursday. They will play at Monroe Junior High School. They will have 3 games against Emmanuel. That'll be on Thursday. All right, let's take a look at college basketball. The top 5 in the nation right now. Kentucky, only undefeated Division I team, 27-0. They will take on Auburn tonight, that game in Lexington. Virginia, number 2, they're 25-1. Tony Bennett doing a great job. Gonzaga, 28-1. Well, they're having a good season. They had a tough win against Pepperdine on Saturday. That was up at the St. Mary's in that gymnasium. Duke is 24-3. They have played stellar basketball lately. Look for them to possibly win that ACC tournament. Wisconsin 25-3, also playing very sound. This year it's going to be a fun tournament. A lot of teams have their 2 cents worth in this thing, and a lot of parity. Outside of Kentucky, I think there's really no other clear-cut number 2 team. And Kentucky, even on a bad day, with their guards that are quick but struggle from the field shooting-wise, things could be quite adventurous for the Wildcats. John Calipari, though, one of the best coaches in the game. Great recruiter, great X&O guy. All right, LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers. We all know LeBron for scoring, for dominating, for taking over games. Maybe the best player in all of basketball. Maybe the best player in the history of basketball before he gets done. We know he can score, but did you also know that he set a record 2 days ago for the most assists ever by a forward? 1,000. He has a 6,136. That surpassed Scottie Pippen, the former Detroit Piston. Now, he got that on Tuesday against the Detroit Pistons. Now, that is rather incredible. That tells you that LeBron James, as big as he is, as dominant as he is offensively, also is an unselfish player, a very, very good passer. All right, let's talk about Kevin Garnett. If you haven't heard, guess what? He's back in Minneapolis. Hasn't been there since 2007 when he wore number 21. Maybe the best all-time player ever in the Minnesota franchise. That was during his prime. And now he was traded from Brooklyn, and I bet he was happy. And he told the news today, the news media up in the Minneapolis area, he is so happy to be back in the Twin Cities. So that's great. He can finish his career there, and he's happy to be playing. His attitude's really good, and Minnesota needs some help. All right, Golden State tonight beat Washington 107-100, and Golden State has the best record in the West. Steve Kerr doing a tremendous job with that team. He was the all-star coach for the West. Memphis 90 and the LA Clippers 87. The Clippers, though, still in 3rd place in that Pacific Division. Now let's check some of the best records in the NBA. In the East, Toronto 37-19. They're on top of the Atlantic. In the Central, Chicago 1 game over Cleveland. That's going to be a great race. In the Southeast, Atlanta, the best record in the East, 44-12. Mike Budenholzer, second-year coach, doing a great job there. Budenholzer was a former assistant with the San Antonio Spurs. Washington, 33-23. They're in 2nd place. and they will get a good playoff seed. In the West, Portland 36-19, the Clippers 37-20, Phoenix 29-28. And at the bottom of the Pacific of the West, the Lakers 14-41. However, the Lakers snapped their 7-game losing streak the other night at Staples when they beat the Celtics in overtime. Best conference in all of basketball, the Southwest, Memphis, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, New Orleans, all over 500. Memphis 41-14, Houston 38-18, Dallas 38-20. Can't get any closer than that. And the defending champion, San Antonio, 34-20. Okay, today in the NBA, the Clippers will be at Houston starting in just a little bit, and the Lakers will be in Utah. Utah coached by Quinn Snyder, a former assistant with the Lakers. And that's your sports for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only community TV station. And finally, on a lighter note, here is Tillman, the skateboarding dog.